Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live stream. It's a Thursday night and it's pretty late because this morning I was not feeling well. And yeah, I thought, what can we do? And look at this internet connection. I don't know if the stream is lagging. I think the stream is lagging because my internet is awesome. And I'm dropping frames. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Suppose it's dropping a lot somehow. Okay, we are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. And let's just see if the quality is going good. And sorry for a second, you're gonna hear echo for a second. Dropping frames. Okay, awesome. Suppose it's drop back. Okay, I think we are back and we are good. And yeah, so welcome to another stream, everybody. Thank you for joining. And how's your Thursday going? How's your Thursday going today? Just let me open chat on my phone. Okay, cool. Okay. So today, what are we doing? Today, I thought it's gonna be a chill stream. I'm not gonna grind. I'm not gonna work on any application today. I mean, I have to do something. I was feeling pretty unproductive. Is that a correct word? Anyways, I was feeling pretty unproductive during the day, and the entire day I slept. And I thought, okay, what's a good way that I can spend 1 or 2 hours? And I thought, okay, it's time that I revisit Golang one more time and try and see exactly like place that I actually left off. And I'm gonna try and do some programming in Golang. And in the meanwhile, I think the music has stopped, so I'm gonna just restart the music again. Okay. And in meanwhile, I'm also gonna actually learn a little bit of networking, which I haven't touched for a while. It's not something that I touch from day to day, but I have interest in low-level programming, and it has come more fairly recently. So yeah, one of the best things would have been to actually work with C, but yeah, I don't want to work with C today. I'm gonna do Golang because I'm more familiar with that language than more familiar with that language than not C. So I'm gonna go ahead with C. Golang, my bad, sorry. Yeah, so what are we doing today? We are gonna try and create an Echo server, which is a very simple thing to do in 1 or 2 hours, I would say. But for me, I would completely take myself as a beginner and I would start working on it. So maybe it takes a little bit of time because I want to deep dive a little bit more. I'm really sorry. I know I'm dropping frames, but it's just my internet. I really have no control over it and I have no idea what to do right now. Yeah. CPU percentage is pretty low and everything. Okay. Anyways, I think let's get back to the live scene. Cool. Okay. So I have installed updated Go to the latest version, which is 2.5.3. So I think we are good to go. Right. So I'm not gonna go to GitHub. I'm gonna go here and yeah, maybe probe is good. Okay. So in here, let's create a directory and say Echo Server Golang. So I want to zoom this in a little bit for everybody to see. I hope that's clear. So what's the first thing, and how do you initialize a Go project? I think it was Go mod init git github.com create dot is it like that? Kind of forgot, honestly. Go mod. Anyways, I think we can simply say Echo Server because of the fact that I'm not going to publish it as a library. So I think we can do that. Look at that. I remember. Okay, I remember. We go land. Let's try and use this. Holy shit, has got a lot of stuff in here. So /dev /pro/ I think it was called Echo Server Golang. Yes, it was. I'm gonna trust this project for now. Okay, one of the things I think I'm gonna do is zoom this in. This probably is good. Okay. So let's quickly create a file, and I'm gonna call it main.go and package echo. So here we have to say main file main fmt println hello world. You do that, and that's pretty much it. And maybe we can create a make file and just call it main. It depends on main go build main.go, and I think I can say output main. That is not how it's supposed to be. Name files must be .go files. Wait, what? Because I think it has to come here and not there. Yes, okay. So that is what this is, what it is. And main hello world. I think I have GitHub there, so I'm gonna say disable completions for now. I don't want any completions. Chat is fine, I suppose. Chat is fine. I do need chat, yeah. Okay, so let's go through so I was actually like, how did I come up with this particular thing? Just give me a second in here. Yeah. So now, as a matter of fact, we have to say go. So I was just looking at one of the things that I can work on. If you're not aware of this, you guys should be. Let's put it in the chat. I should keep this open. That's not what why don't you show me my own thing here? So this here is coding challenges where you are given to build a couple of different tools, websites also are there, I think so. WC is word count, I think that's the name of it. Word count, I'm guessing it's called word count. Has to be word count, I think. But yeah, so one of the things here is build your own web server, and I was looking at this, and from there I was reading up this particular document, which is again maybe something I can give in here. I suppose this is where you go. Yeah, or maybe, yeah, I'm just gonna give this if somebody is interested in here. But this particular thing is for HTTP server. This particular thing is an HTTP server. I thought, okay, let's not do that right away, and let's just build a simple Echo World server and see how exactly we're gonna go. And I'm gonna use net package in here. I'm gonna see how exactly we do. Okay. So in here, how is the stream doing? The stream is still kind of, messing around a little bit, but yeah, that's Airtel for you, man. That's Airtel for you. Okay, cool. PackageNet provides a portable interface for network I/O, including TCP, IP, UDP, domain name resolution, and Unix domain sockets. All of the packages provide access to low-level networking primitives. So most clients will only need basic interface provided by the dial, listen, and accept functions and the associated connection and listener methods. So as far as I remember, dial is basically kind of like the client-side thing. I may be wrong. Listen is the server-side thing. Connection is you accept the connection, and listener is again you listen for a connection, and then you have to accept the connection and listen to the connection, and something like that is there. But I may be completely wrong. We'll see. We'll figure out slowly as we go along, I suppose. The crypto TLS package is the same interface, blah blah blah. Okay, show me some code, can you? So you are dialing a TCP connection to the CS. So I guess this is a client-side thing because you are creating a connection to this thing. I am guessing. By the way, can I just do ping that? I don't think so. I believe you can do it like that, right? Yeah. Okay. There is nothing as net stack. NC, if I'm not wrong. So simple TCP proxies and all that. Okay. Allow broadcast, send CR carriage return, this thing as not done to read from this, blah blah blah. Yeah. I'll see exactly what the difference of net stack and this thing in here. But okay, we'll see. So I think yes, so this is what I'm talking about. This is a client-side code, I suppose, where you would get the connection and you would send a request. Okay, so I'm guessing this is where you send a request, where you write to the request, so you're basically sending it, and then you have a status back connection read string, and you're just trying to read whatever you got back from them. One of the things I suppose, like, we can try, is like this. I am not sure. Anyways. Okay, so what you do is you first this my frame's dropping really bad. Is it that if anybody is watching me right now, if you can confirm on the chat that the stream is completely fucked up for the bandwidth. Yeah. Okay, so one of the things we see here is that you say listen, so you listen to that particular port. If you are not able to open up that particular socket, I suppose this is where you do that. If error not equals nil, okay, and then for connection is nil and accept this thing, go handle connection. So go handle connection is another thing. Like, I know it's a go routine, and you can also keep accepting things in a loop in a different routine, and then you can handle the connection in a different routine. Okay, but I don't want to do a go routine right away. The method for resolving domain names, whether indirectly with functions like dial or directly with functions like lookup post, and this thing in here varies from system to system. Okay, the resolver has two main options for resolving names. It uses a pure Go resolver that sends DNS requests directly to the server listed in this thing, or it can actually use a CGO based resolver that C-library routines get as get address info or get name info. Yeah, I remember these stuff when I was trying to learn C and this thing, but I don't quite remember them right now. But yeah, on Unix, the pure Go resolver is preferred over the CGO resolver, blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. The resolver decision can be overridden by setting the net DNS, but I think this is again for client-side stuff that they are talking about, which I do not want. So listen. Okay, so let's look at what this particular method does. And I also believe go.net. Yeah. Wait, do I have to do always? Or I think there's also a command which I recently came across. It's called move. I don't know if it's installed. Okay, so it's only for files, I think so. not sure what exactly it is. So there's something called listen, right? And okay, so it has to take in the network and the address string. So what the heck is a network? Okay, and it gives you back a listener or an error. It announces on the local network. The network must be TCP, TCP4, TCP6, Unix, or Unix spec. I suppose if you say I suppose if you say TCP, it will look for 6 and 4 both. It will try to resolve. And then you have TCP4, which explicitly says this, saying the TCP network to the host specified listens on all available unicast and anycast IPs. Okay, SCP address your host name, but does not recommend it because it will create a listener for at most one of the host IPs. If the port is empty as 0, as in this thing, a port number is automatically chosen. The address method of listener can be used to discover the chosen port. So you have a listener which will have the same, and I suppose you have a listener in here which is an interface which can accept, which can close, and there is again an address function right here, which basically should return you back with an address. So okay, again, it's an interface which can have a network, okay, and then it can have a string which will give you this thing. Okay, so let's quickly go ahead with that. What we have to do is net.listen. We have to say TCP4, and in here we have to say 8080, and this gives a listener back or an error. All right, if error not equal to null, I probably want to say fmt print f could not. So maybe yeah, so could not listen to this thing and this thing. Yeah, and then I can simply OS zip 1 in here. So I believe this in here is this. So thank you. So now the question is connection. All right, now the question is connection. So connection dot accept, and what does it return? Accept returns you back with a connection and all. I suppose this is the server, not the connection. Server.accept connection error, and in here I'm just gonna say, I suppose we do that not accept connection. Okay, this thing, and then connection dot one of the things I suppose we do in here is buffer connection close. It says the connection can also error out. We can do a closure where we do a defer and then immediately call it and we capture this, but I suppose we can simply ignore this. And we also have to close the server. Cool. All right. Hmm. I think the stream is stable. Okay. So now I'm gonna have to. So what is an this thing? Okay. So you have a connection and you have a couple of things, which is like read, remote address, local address returns a local address, remote address, set deadline, set red. Okay. A deadline is an absolute time after which IO operations fail instead of blocking. The deadline applies to all future and pending IO, not just immediately following call to read or write. Okay. If the deadline is this, okay. So one of the things we do is connection dot read, I suppose, and you have to give it a buffer. You have to give it a buffer, and it takes a byte buffer. Okay. So buffer, I think 1 kilobyte is gonna be enough. Let's do 256. I think 256 is gonna be enough for now, and we are going to see this. Okay, and we can copy paste some code from here. If error not equals null, could not read from client. I suppose we can log the IP in here. Not right now. Could not read from client S, and that is basically the error that you have, and you can exit out in here. And if you did, what I do want to do is, first thing I want to do is fmt print ln message from client is this thing. Okay. And then I want to echo it back. Let's first do let's first do this part and see if it actually works. What are you con might have unexpected value as corresponding error value might not be nil. Didn't. I get it, but then I already exit out, which means you should never call this. Isn't that how it's supposed to be? Probably not, because I'm guessing if it generates the code, it would just, if you have 2 blocks, if else, it would just put it in 2 of the blocks. But I'm not sure about that. So just to be safe, I'm gonna do it here so that no null pointer exception comes up. So if you make this and main, okay, so it would be good to have fmt printf listening on address. So listening on this thing. One thing is I don't have tmux installed and I don't want to do installation right now. Okay, so the question is, what can I do? Well, one of the things I can do is here is something like this. What do you say, chat? What do you say? Can we do something like this? I suppose we can do something like this. Manual tiling window. Anybody ever done this? Okay, so so you're listening telnet 127.0.0.1.0.0.0, right? Yeah. Server lookup fail. Is it 1? I forgot. Wait, what's the local loopback address? Wait, am I going crazy right now? Local loopback address, 0.1. It's 01, yeah. Okay, so this didn't work, it's suppose. It didn't work, I suppose. Telnet 127.0.0. Server lookup field name of service not known. But one of the things I can do is anything running on the port 8080. It is running on the port 8080 and it's main. One of the things we can do is move main.go to echo server.go, and in make file we can say main to echo server. I think it's called confirm. Yes. What the heck just happened? I don't know what just happened, but echo server. Okay, so you have echo server, and one of the things I do want to do is telnet 127.0.0.1. My bad. 8080. I'm listening on 8080, right? Or am I going crazy? No, I'm listening on 8080, and this is exactly what I checked. Well, I need to increase this a little bit, suppose. What did I do wrong? So it doesn't error out. It gives an error with telnet. Am I doing something crazy in here? Swarm, man. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Good start. Okay, so we have this, and here it doesn't quite say that we accepted the connection. That's one thing, because we also don't say we accepted the connection. It would be nice to say that we accepted the connection. Accepted the connection. That's pretty much it. And since it's that, you can do this. And here, if I just say hello chat, well, it's telnet, so it's not going to do that. Message from client equals hello chat, and you just get a closing connection in here, right? One of the things we can do is make, and then you can say echo server, and here you telnet again, and you say hello chat. You will say accepted the connection, and this is what it is. So we did a very simple mumbo jumbo echo server which says hello back, or whatever you are gonna say. I mean, of course, it's gonna close the connection. Hello YouTube. If I say that, it's gonna say me back that. So it's kind of a ping pong server, echo server, which gives you back this particular thing. Okay. Next thing I really want to do here is that we do not want to close a connection. We want multiple clients to hold to the connection. I suppose it's good to actually install daemons, I suppose, but I don't know if my configuration is gonna work correctly or not anymore. We can try tmux sudo apt install tmux. Okay. Lip core. Okay, I hope it doesn't messes up some of the libraries which I'm using for this thing. Meanwhile, yeah, I think the stream is going good now. I mean, okay, it's still dropping frames left and right, honestly. I'm just not sure. Anyways, so now, of course, okay, but can't even type. So one of the things we can do is emacs.conf get up the dot files. Where is tmux? Okay, you have tmux in here, and how about I just download this file and see what happens. Holy shit, it works. It just works. Okay, this doesn't work. I cannot navigate through the panes, which means my configuration of this thing is not correct. Yup. But hello. See, hello. There's a YouTube channel, there's a Instagram page, I think it's called Coding Kitty, something like that. That's what it is. My god, within just a second. Okay, I'll be right back. Just give me a second. So we are back, and apparently one of the things that I just looked at is it started working. So I think we are good here. Okay. I think we are good here, and yeah, okay, so I can change the panes with option. Does it change with J? No, I haven't binded it to the Vim stuff, but okay. Anyways, I don't do Vim stuff, I just use arrow keys to be fair. But now, you can do something like Echo Server in here, and then in here, telnet 127.180. In here, I'm gonna say hello from pane 1. It says hello from pane 1 and close the connection, but in here, if I stick this thing in a for loop and I keep on accepting connections, if I'm not wrong, this is how we would do it. This here would be an issue because of the fact that I am not like, basically I'm going out of the scope of the for loop. I think there's also loop. No, I think that's for Rust. I think, I don't remember. But in here, this is giving an issue because this has to be a closure, and so function, it has to be the connection, and I'm just gonna say close, and I'm gonna have to call this right away with this, but do a defer on this, and now it's gonna stop hopefully. No, why? You cannot do a defer within a for loop. Defer is called the for loop. Okay, I didn't know that. So why is this memory leak? Anyways, it's not a memory leak because of the fact that it's a CLI tool, so it's gonna anyways exit out. But the problem here is that it's a memory leak because of the fact, even though it's a CLI tool, it's a server, so it needs to keep running 24/7, and that's why a memory leak possibility can be there. The leak is caused by calling inside the for loop in Echo. Defer runs when a surrounding function returns, so each return is never closed until each accepted connection is never closed until the program exits. Fixed by handling each connection as a go routine. Yeah, that is fine, but I don't want to do a go routine right away. So whatever I mentioned was not the case, but yeah, this is basically the issue here because it needs to return. So when you return, there'll be a pile of connection.close which loaded up and it never got closed. That's why you have the memory leak. So the connections would be open. Ultimately, the operating system would close it, but it's up to us to actually close it. And one of the ways to do that is to go to the go routine or coroutine. What is it called? Coroutine? Coroutine. Go routine. What is it called? Go routine. And the question is the go routine or not? Anyways, before that, I would like to first ask this: why is this a memory? Because that I know, defer runs only when the surrounding function returns, not at the end of each loop iteration. Okay, so every accepted connection stays open until the function exits. As the loop keeps accepting the clients, you accumulate open descriptors. That's a resource leak, often called a memory leak, but it's really a socket OS resource. There's a second problem. You call exit, which skips all the deferred calls, has been stacked on front, leaking those connections for sure on error path. Close per iteration, handle inside the go routine. I don't want to talk about go routine. I don't want to talk about go routine. Okay. Yeah, so I get it now. So the defer would be called only when main exits, and when till the time main will never exit until you actually forcefully stop, because it's an infinite loop. And instead of that, you say continue in here, and you say continue in here, and you just do not do that. This will be moved to go routine, okay, but not right away. We're not going to do that. So now this particular change should bring Echo Server, and here telnet 1.7.0.0.1.80.80. Telnet 1.7.0.0.1.80.80. It accepted another connection, but it never really logged because we are logging in the wrong place. No, we do log in the place. Aha, because it's a blocking call, I suppose. Because accept is a blocking call. So it blocked, it never really went in a different go routine. So that is why we should technically be going in a different go routine so that it's not blocking. So now it's stuck in here somewhere, I would say. Not here somewhere. I mean, is there a way for Go to figure out what trace and where exactly the call trace is right now? But I think it's trying to read something now. So until the client sends something, it won't be reading. Hello from pane 2. If I say this, okay. So it kind of accumulated both of them and then moved forward. So that's kind of sus, right? And hello from pane. If I say that, it's hello from pane 1. Okay. Tell net 1.7.0.0.1.80. Okay, just give me a second. I'll quickly see one thing in here. Okay, I don't see an email also. Okay, cool. So now one of the things I feel we should be doing here is okay, so one of the things we don't do is close the connection. We don't close the connection, right? Hello. So we don't close the connection. Suppose you have to say, where is that? This thing, and then you have to say exit. Not exit, close. Okay. So here you have to say this, then exit, close. Okay. And now it started closing the connections. And it's just but the server never closes, and that makes sense. The server never closes, so we have to explicitly close this. And if I say this, it's still exited with 0 because we didn't error out, we just forcefully sent a sick kill, right? That is what I suppose is happening right here. Okay, one of the things we can do is well, not here, function handle connection. So in here you can say make the buffer and make the buffer, then you try to read, then you do this, and then you do this. Sorry. So I suppose you need net connection, but here you don't have to do just return from here. That's all you have to do. All right. So we can defer to close this. Like we can do this thing here. We don't have to do a defer. So you accepted the connection. You accepted the connection, and then you say handle connection, but then you say like this. So in this particular way, it would first accept a connection, and it would go for the problem here is it's going to close the connection. This is the problem. It's going to close the connection. So I think there's going to be some kind of a error here. So you do a telnet. Yes, could not read from client, use of closed network connection. Yes, exactly. This is what I think is going to happen, where you try to close a connection before even thinking about let's say. So I just wonder if defer is gonna make sense in here, because of the fact that it's gonna always, like, it's gonna never close. It's never gonna close. That's the thing. So here I'm just gonna say hello. It didn't close, but if I just go around here, if I do that, accepted the connection. You accepted the connection, and tell net 127 00180. Here also you accept another connection. That's quite interesting, because specifically we never kind of, they do this thing where we are like blocking. Now it's kind of like is handed off to another routine somewhere in a very asynchronous manner. How does Go work? Goroutines work as lightweight concurrent functions managed by the goroutine runtime scheduler, which multiplexes many goroutines onto a few operating system threads end-to-end model. So it is like a green thread. When you proceed a function call with a Go keyword, it starts a new independent goroutine. The scheduler assigns goroutines to available OS threads. The scheduler assigns goroutines to available OS threads, allowing them to run in parallel or multi-core system concurrently on a single core. I don't know if that is what I'm looking for right now. Okay, so to start, simply add goroutine. Okay, a number of small OS threads are managed by Go runtime scheduler. The scheduler assigns goroutines are hardware threads or green threads. A type of green threads managed by another operating system. They are extremely lightweight compared to OS threads, with a small initial stack size and Go scheduler. Okay, so what is the stack size? 2 KB. Goroutines start with small, dynamically growing and shrinking stack around 2 KB, allowing you to have hundreds of thousands of them, unlike which requires 8 MB. Java virtual threads are stack based. Is that correct? Unlike platform threads, which typically allocate this thing, okay, this allows for a much smaller initial memory footprint, hundreds of bytes instead of megabytes, and dynamic resizing. When a virtual suspends, blah blah blah, stack frames the state for the heap. When it resumes, these frames are reloaded, allowing it to continue execution where it left off. The only problem here is these are all AI overview. I don't know if it actually did Google and research and then came up with it, or it simply shitted out something, which I don't know if... Does Google not have a dark mode? I have to rely on dark reader. Okay, that's fine, I suppose. It's fine, I suppose. So in here, okay, so hello from pane 4, but it's not going to close the connection to the pane because of the fact that it's in a for it's not for, right? So what we have to do is, I suppose we can kill the server altogether, and that should be it. Yeah, that should be. So we have 4 of these in here. Then we have a server on the left hand side, which basically will be irons. Okay, anyways, so how can we actually make sure that it actually closes a connection after this particular thing is happening? So there are 2 ways to close a connection. One, when the client actually closes a connection. Second, when... So first thing I want to try, I think because a server sends a request, and once you send a request to a certain peer, the client sends a request to the server, and you can always close a connection right away when you send that information back, right? So one of the things we can do here is accept, and in here what you can do is you can say this, and okay, so you accept a connection, you say if there's an error, some issues there, and then you also definitely closing the connection in here, and in here you return. So server net listener, okay, and here you have to handle this. So inside the folder, what do you want to do? You simply want to say accept, you pass in the server or the listener. So this I think is basically called listener, and I think with the Golang norm you normally say ln. Extremely sorry, excuse me for that. I'm really sorry. I hope in last year years sorry. Okay, so you do that, and next what? Next is I want to say, yeah, that's basically it, I suppose, because inside the for loop you say go accept, and it's a defer close, and it says go handle, and it's not going to exit till this particular thing exists, right? If I understand that correctly, because if I just do that, it still is a blocking call, so I still want to do another go routine inside of it, right? Right. Echo server. Wait a second. Too many concurrent operations on a single file socket. Okay, I suppose we are not supposed to go handle it here. Okay. $22. But this is again a blocking call, so that needs to block. Okay, let's see exactly how they're doing it. There's an example, right? So you say TCP. Okay, so in here, look at that, ln. So you say ln.accept. Okay, and you just say go handle. So you always keep on accepting, but you don't handle, you always handle it there. Okay, so it's the case. You return, you say continue. I don't want to stop the server, say that, and then I don't want to close the connection, so you accepted the connection, and then you try and handle it. that's basically it, right? That's basically it. So now this is exactly what we are having. So there is no difference in this. So let's go back to this particular thing. What is wrong? Scope. Edit files in your workspace immediately. No, thank you. Unlimited Go routines that each call except once unnecessary and wasteful. Except defers and then starts handling connection on the Go routine. The except returns immediately, rewriting the defer and closing the connection for handling runs. Only reads once. It should loop until end of file or error. So you generally accept the connection in here. So okay, generally accept the connection, handle each connection in its own Go routine. Aha, I get it. So this thing doesn't happen here. So this is like ln, but this thing should happen here. I get it. But I also want to log this. So this is a function which basically says that fmt closing connection, and all this you have to capture it and send it across. Cool. I don't need this. Trying to get a little bit hang of it. So you accept the connection of R2, and I thought accept is blocking. I really didn't think. Listener is a generic network for streamed oriented protocols. Okay, so who all is doing? So there's TCP, there's Unix listener, there's local server, and things like that. There's a channel with a single listing, which basically says signal that indicated service stop, except connections list. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Now, Echo Server. Apple man. Server. So telnet 127.0.0.1 80 accepted the connection. Accepted the connection. Hello from AM2, and you immediately close the connection because you are forcefully closing the connection. You are forcefully closing the connection. Okay. But okay, cool. Now we also want to write back. All right. Connection right, buffer missing, and then this also will be this, and I suppose you can omit that out. Okay. Written if written not equal to n or error not equal to nil, fmt fprintf but not write to client, error is this, and in here I simply want to return out of it. Otherwise read the bytes from client So n route client. Okay, make echo server. So if we do that, okay, it says hello back, and I can open up all the connections together, and it just is not an issue. It's just not an issue. Okay, so we accept the connection. We say, okay, so we first create a listener. Okay, so we first created a listener which is of the type TCP4. So we explicitly mentioned TCP4, else it would have, look for 6 and then 4 and then try to resolve into 1. So we don't want to do that. You simply say TCP4, and then you say address is 8080, and then we say, well, technically speaking, it can probably just be 80. Okay, whatever. So then we say it could not listen and all of that, but then we close. Okay, and here too, I suppose I'll change that later on. Okay. Net.listener. So this is this. Empty listener closed, and here you have an capture. Here, I think that is what it's supposed to be, and yeah, it's pretty good now. I suppose that's what it is. Suppose that's what it is. So we already created the Echo server. Message line sent. You can send the message using telnet, and best using telnet, something like that. Well, one of the things I would like to do in here, wait, I think just do it like that, because if you go to listener, yeah, you do it like that. Okay, so one of the things I do want to do in here is what next, because this is done, right? This is done. So I'm just guessing echo client. How about that? Package main, func main, and then you have fmt println this is client, right? Okay. If I go to makefile, I suppose we can simply say server slash client slash all. Doesn't say all. I don't remember how to do that. So server client slash confirm. I'm just gonna do. It's not even confirm. Okay. Fucker, I don't remember how to do that. I'm just gonna do it in this way. Look at that. So now I also need something like this. All, which is echo server, echo client, and then I think we have to say 40, which is all. What the fuck? Echo client. Why didn't change? Anyways, echo client. Make. Nothing to be done for all. Rebuild everything, please. Thank you. Okay, cool. So echo server is this, and echo client is this slide. Now the interesting part starts is that if we can call the client, call the server from here, right? So as far as I remember, there's something called dial. So let's look at go.net dial. Okay, so you basically have to do it in this way. Dial it, and then what? Might have find out how do you do it. So for the IP must go in IP. Okay, so you say this. Okay. The address must be a system file path. Okay. So what does it return? It returns back a connection from which we just saw that we can read. Yeah, we can read. This is basically what we can do, what we have been doing on the server side also. And we can also write. Right, so yeah, let's do that. So net dial TCP 8080. So you know what, one of the things we can do here is common, and const addr is this, and how do we change tabs in this thing? So one of the things we can do is this, and then we can change it, and we don't have to import it because it's the same package. So also I think the naming convention even for constants is this, so I'm just gonna go with that. Any professional Go developer in the chat, please tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, so you have this thing in here, you have this, you have this, you have this. Okay, cool. So if not accept connection and all of that, blah blah blah. Well, this is this. So interesting thing here is error. If error not equals none, error connecting to server. So let's call this server address. Okay, so server this because of this and this. Server address and this thing. Okay. What you're worried about, my friend? Possible. Wait, what is wrong? Anybody sees what is wrong? I don't see it. Case server order is coming from common. What's the problem, man? Okay, my bad. In here, what do I want to do? I first simply want to say defer close connection, but I want to do it in here. So fmt connection closed, and in here I'm gonna say null check. I don't want to do it, so you have to pass in this thing, which means you need to capture this thing and call it. That's all. And in here, if this is this os exit 1, okay. So now connection.write, you need a buffer, right? So I suppose you can always say something like this, byte hello world, and error. If error not equals null, this is where I am expecting to say error writing server blah blah blah, and I'm just gonna say it's exit 1, and since error is already fine, you can do that. And then the other thing here is nothing. You simply close the connection. So now make p undefined address undefined server address, but it's right here. Sorry, it's right here inside main, and it knows exactly where it is, because if I go there it takes me there, so it has to know where it is. Okay, so the server doesn't know, but if I say echo client, does that know? It also doesn't know. That's kind of weird, right? Am I doing this wrong? So I remember there is something called var, this is variable, and this is const. So I can say common in here, but it's not gonna work. I have to say main, because the top level either can be echo server. Acha, in the same directory you can have the same package. I don't know that. Cool. So what I want to do here is, I'm just gonna say this, and I'm just gonna say this for now. Redeclared. Thank you. Redeclared. Thank you. Which means that there is a declaration in this. Do I have to say something like that? No, because main doesn't have to be imported. Echo server. It's called Echo server. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna make a quick break because doing it for half an hour, I think. Just walk up and walk around for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and then be back. Okay. Ah. Okay, so the question here is, why the F don't you work? Do I have to explicitly say this is a string? It's not a type issue. It's just an issue. It says it's undefined. That's very weird. So how do you define const? Golang define const? Is it some... Can you just show me? Yeah. So what is on earth the issue here? Because I do this thing explicitly. So what's the problem? What do you need from me? Pa, 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 pa. Why does client and server can't say that server ADTR is undefined? Why? What is the issue here? So it's definitely not a type issue. So it's some other issue. Okay. Because you ran a single file, for example. Yeah, I'm not running, you dumbass, building. So what's the problem? So what's the problem? It's exactly like C. I have to give it all the context. I have to give it all the context, like all the files. So in here it's common.go, common.go, and maybe in here, if I'm not wrong, say something like that. Main redeclared in this block. Okay, I cannot do that. Okay, so you can have only one main. Man, Golang sucks in that case. Golang sucks in that case, man. Honestly. Okay, let's do it in this way. So you gotta create a directory, which is called CMD. Now in here you have a directory which is called Echo Client, and your Echo Client can move here, and then you can have a directory called Echo Server. Echo Server can move here. Wrong file. Echo Server can move here. Okay. Now this common thing in here, so this has to be CM. This has to be main, I think. This has to be main, I think. Yeah. Okay. So the common thing that you're doing, so we can I think there's a general this thing called libs or something. I'm just gonna put it in the comment because I don't know. I don't know enough to do that. And oh, look at that, it actually moves everything. Okay, so echo client, this has to be common.echo client, and you have to look at that, it actually did the import. But I do want something like this. नहीं, मैं देता हूँ. So just a second. Now you have common server address, blah blah blah, and all of that. Are you okay? Can you shut up? Okay, thank you so much. So this is good. This is good. And here also, one of the things we can do is common.server APR, and you have to import this thing in here. I suppose we have to change some rules where this import comes below. I have to see stuff like that. I think first it's your standard lib, then your imports or whatever, common packages. Is it packages or modules? I think it's called a package because this is the package in here, right? And then I think your third-party standard libs will come. But yeah, anyways, it doesn't matter as long as it works, right? So I suppose we have to change this a little bit. So Echo Server is one of the targets, which again, so it depends on common/common go, and then this has to be cmd/echo server/echo the same, and then in here you have to say echo server/echo server. I think well, it has to be go. So make echo server. Does it work now? Awesome, it works now. So in here, this is this cmd echo. I know we could have just recorded a macro into it. I'm not that smart to do that, I'll be honest. I don't know how to do it, very simply speaking. So maybe we should learn that sometime. cmd echo client.go. Who am I using? I'm not private yet. Okay, so now if I do okay, so it rebuilds everything correctly, and then in here, so let's exit exit, and in here I suppose we can simply say echo server, and well, here I can simply say echo client. My bad, cd dev. So cd dev get not dev probe echo server golang. In here we can simply say tmarks a. So here we can simply say echo client and connection close, but it never quite. Okay, so I know exactly what is happening in here. So let's close this. cmd echo client here, right? So if I look at this, it wrote back, but then we have to say Mm, so let's do this, and then here red error con dot read, and you have to give it the buffer. So buffer is, I suppose we do it like this, byte 256 should be enough, and here you're saying buffer, right? So if red is not equal to end or error not equal to nil, where it's nil in here, you can simply say fmt dot fprintf os standard error. Is that how you write? No. Error reading data from server. This thing in here, so this is the error, and if you have an error, you always exit out. Otherwise you simply say closing the connection. Okay, cool. So now let's see. So this undefined int, why is that? Because you have to say this and make okay. I'm sorry again. Well, it was a big one. Okay. Echo server, and in here echo client. I'm a dumb. So message is hello world. Okay. Hello world, and here empty dot printf wrote say server. Empty println printf dot back string of buffer, and here simply have to say the message. Send hello world to the server, got back hello world. Now the specific thing is that you have a new line. I'm gonna change the new line to cmd echo client in here, and yeah. Hello from client. Cool. Look at that. We did it. Send hello from client. What? Send hello world server, got back hello. We did it. Yes, please load the system changes. Thank you so much. Good. So I suppose we did a thing where are you telling me okay? Okay, so first created the server to accept connection and respond back. So do this in a loop to accept tokens and delegate to the routine to handle the connection. So we read from client and then wrote back to ping and a pong. How about that? How about that, right? So it's ping and a pong. So listener dot accept and listener dot how do you get a connection? I think it was gone, right? If I'm not wrong. No. This gives you back the connection. Connection dot read. Right. That's pretty much it, if I'm not wrong. If I CMD Echo Server. Yeah. So you accept the connection. So you create a server or listener using listen, which you can give a certain network protocol thing. So we are doing a TCP4 in here. Then you can have an address, blah blah blah. You know, the usual thing. And then you simply say that, okay, can you accept the connection in a loop? So this for is basically an infinite loop, and then we say accept the connection. And once we accept the connection, we hand off that particular connection to a separate Go routine so that this for loop is unblocked and it goes in the loop and it can simply accept another connection. And once it accepts another connection, it can go through the entire process again. And in the handle connection, what do we do? So we pass in the connection so we can actually defer the connection closing here. If we do it here, since for loop will never exit the function, so defer is always scoped to the function, it's not to the block. So defer is always to the function. So only when a function will exit, that is when this defer function will run. And which means that being a server which has to be infinitely running, you will never be closing these connections. Okay, so that is a more resource problem for you. Okay, so you write and you read. So in this case, you first read, but in here, it's CMD Echo Client. In here, you did the similar kind of thing where you did it up. So I suppose this is true. So this one, create a listener by calling net dot listen. Listen. So here I'm guessing this is protocol. Here this is address. But it's not really protocol. So go top up. By the way, can we do go up? No. Okay, Okay, so we cannot do that, or I guess it's basically good up for. Oh, go.cmd. Can I do that? Cannot find cmd any of. Why are you looking at some weird places? Why can't you look at here? No buildable source coded. Anyways, doesn't really matter. We can see exactly what GoDoc does, but I'm guessing it generates the documents from here. So server address. It does that. So just for main, you don't do it. Okay, cool. Because we do that. Whatever. Okay. So in here, what I do want to do is, so you call net listen protocol. So what exactly what I do want to see is a go.net listen. So it's a network. Okay, so let's specify address. Listens to all the available unicast and anycast of IP address. To only use this thing. Conversions with the network. Okay, so this is more of a network protocol, as I mentioned, is what I'm gonna go with. Okay. Then the address. Use listener to accept connections, and then delegate the handle connection, read write connection close to a goroutine to unblock for next connections. Okay. Okay. To create a client, call the function netdial. In netdial, I suppose you again give it the network protocol, and then in here suppose you have still don't have a message. Just give me a second. Okay, cool. To create a client, call the function address. Okay. You get a connection, and it's up to the client to send read data from the server. In the Echo client and Echo Server example, we created a classic networking hello world Echo Server, or I don't know if it's the correct word, but ping pong is also, or you can say ping ping, I guess, because whatever you're sending, it sends you back, right? Can you just run the server? Echo Server, and in here it's actually run the client. It's a single client. So hello world to the server, hello this thing. One of the things I suppose we can do is can you just do it for me? Thank you so much. I think, okay, so we already have OS, and I suppose message can be os.argus one, or is dark v? Not quite sure, but we can check. So here I'm gonna make again. Well, that didn't work, so I have to quit stuff. Okay, what did I change in the server that it actually changed? I don't know. So echo client, will you ask? Index out of range. Cool. So in here I'm gonna say hello world, but will it actually take up like this? Awesome. And hello sailor does hello sailor, and you send back hello sailor. Wait, got back hello world. This motherfucker is being something else. Wait, is it my code or is it actually sending something wrong? Okay, where is the client server? So you read something and then you're trying to send it back. Why are you saying I read hello world then? Weird stuff, right? It's pretty weird, man. Okay, let's look at it. So you say the message is this, then you say, what a stupid idiot. Let's rebuild everything. Okay, possibly missing a comma or something in line number 26. 26, whatever's happening. Aha, okay. Cool. And then on the other side, you run the server and you run the client. Awesome. Fucking finally works without any stupidity. Thank you, meine Freunde. Okay, so basically what we did is a very simple thing. It's just the hello world of networking, and we have to do something even more crazy now, I suppose. Well, we did some sort of asynchronous programming also, because with Echo Server we are handling disconnections in a Go routine. So Go routine is again just a lightweight. It's kind of like firing off an event saying, okay, this is a function which you need to execute at some point. I'm guessing there has, I don't think so, it has an event loop, I don't know. Does Go routine work with event loop? Can work with by them building. I didn't ask can. The select statement is equivalent to a multi-way event loop. Okay, so I don't remember the select statement here, how's it, but I remember that you can have a channel and something like that is there. Like, yeah, I have to still figure out the concurrency model in Go. You have a channel where you can send some kind of an event, and on the other side you can listen to certain events. And okay, okay. Where JavaScript's event loop is more efficient. I'm learning Go, specifically Go routines, and I'm curious about this question from what I understand. Actual threads on your CPU for true multitasking, while chase async tasks are queued in an event loop with a single thread. is, for example, if I had a million HTTP calls and did nothing with the results, would JS be more efficient since all the million calls are within a single thread? Go routines are an abstraction on top of operating system threads, but they aren't one-to-one Go routine OS2. Okay. The Go runtime defaults to as many threads as CPU cores and has a work ceiling. Okay, so it's a fork join thing. You could have a single thread, that is Go max procs equal 1. So I wonder, is this a, it does not, okay. And still have multiple Go routines. You can have many more Go routines on CPU, of course, because these are green threads. The Go routine can also start up an extra OS thread for blocking IO if needed. Whether it's more efficient or not is likely dependent. Okay, you can see the synthetic benchmark data here. Well, it says github.io, so I'm gonna trust the source and just go here and delve into the compile. Oh, I saw this in Prime's video where he talks about because virtual, yeah, they actually did with JDK virtual threads. We don't have, so I never actually, okay. So let's start from something small because some runtimes require some memory for themselves. Let's first launch only one task, okay? So in here you have Rust threads, which are like very, very less. Then you have Tokyo, which I remember is another async something library. Okay, so Go here is supposed to be the lowest memory footprint, which 1.8, but only one task, so I'm guessing it's only a single thing here. Java threads is 38.2, but it's kind of already understandable because of the fact that Java itself needs to start up the JVM and all that. Even with virtual threads, I think it has to create multiple stacks and then, you know, switch over, because I read somewhere it saves to the heap space and then it would have to, you know, bring it back to context and all of that. There is a really, really good so that, can I do it here, in which Soding does this. I mean, if you're not following Soding, I don't know what on earth you're doing. In my opinion, he's a real software engineer who would just, you know, shit out code without any internet also. He's that good. He can just go to the source code of any libraries, like generally he is using C. You can generally go to the source code of these libraries and he would just shit out code very, very efficiently. So I don't know if what you're doing. So yeah, this is one of the things I still have to see. I have seen a little bit here and there. So he builds code routines and things like that. But the language he uses is C3, which is a different language. It's not C, but I mean, it's all the same. It's all the same. But yeah, I personally feel that it's actually a really great resource for learning. We can see there are two groups of programs. Go Rust compiles statically to native binaries, need vary. So one of the things I'm interested in knowing here is that exactly they're talking about native binaries. So even Java can compile down to native binaries, which is GraalVM. So did they actually try that? I'm not very sure. The other programs running on managed platforms, also interpreters, consume more memory, although Python fares really well in this case. There is about an order of magnitude difference in memory consumption between these two. So it's no surprise to me that .NET somehow has the worst footprint, but I guess this can be tuned with some settings, maybe. Let me know in the comments if there are any tricks. I haven't seen much difference between the debug and the release modes. I mean, that is worth it. That is so worth it. That .NET has to be the worst, shittiest language ever I have seen. I have not worked with CPP, but I think it is still far better, because I heard a lot of people shit on CPP, specifically hardcore C developers. But I'm working with .NET now, and I fucking hate it. It's really stupid. It's really stupid. You had C, which is platform specific, which needs to depend on, I think it's lean, mean, win something, Win32 API and all that, Win API, what they call, because again, you are working directly with very, very low levels. So you need to be platform specific. So you need to have a lot of if defs and things like that. I know Then you have CPP, which also kind of has the same kind of problem. It's platform specific. And you have, so as an example for C also, you have GCC, you have CC, you have Clang, but then on the other side, you have MSVC and things like that, right? Even I'm not so not so clear. I don't know the entire environment because I don't work with C. I have rarely worked with C. Then comes Java in my head because 10 years I've been working with Java, and people shit on Java. The C people shit on Java saying, hey, object-oriented programming is slow. Agreed. It's stupid. It's slow. Design patterns are stupid. You're making more work than it's actually required. How often is your software changing? How often is your software extending? In my 10 years of career, maybe not even a single time I have seen that any piece of code that I have written is set to be extended. And once they try to extend it, they figured out, oh, this is not the feature that we want. We want a different feature. So let's build an extraction on top of it. C++, a Microsoft shitty product, a C Sharp, my bad, sorry, a Microsoft shitty product, which tries to be Java from the Microsoft world, has a VM. It's not a native binary. It's not a native binary, but I think it can compile down to native binary. But you have CLR, which is an intermediate representation. It's not a direct machine code or an assembly that you pull out, right? It's not native binaries. You have CLR, which is, I think, some language runtime. CLR full form C Sharp. What is it exactly called? Common language runtime. You have a common language runtime. There are other different terms which basically says the entire, like you have JVM and JRE and all of that. It's basically that in .NET. And then you say that, oh, you cannot build it on Linux. You cannot build the same code on Mac. You cannot build the same code on this. You cannot build the same code on that platform because you're a fucking piece of ass. Every time I am working with .NET right now, and I'm telling you, one of the main pain points is, so I don't know. And I mean, I cannot even comprehend this thing. Just imagine that your configurations, the build tool, the build configurations of your project depends of an existing project. Think about this. Build configurations of an existing project is dependent on the ID version that you install. Just comprehend that for a moment. It is not a new project that you're creating. It brought in the toolchain and everything. I can understand that. It gives you a template to start a project. I can understand that. I can make peace with it. But the moment you open up a code which was created or built with something older, an older IDE, older version of IDE, maybe 2015, you immediately, if you open it with 2022, because you updated it, you upgraded your IDE, you upgraded your environment, you got a good PC. Anyways, VS Code is like the grandfather of Chrome, I think. Not VS Code, sorry, Visual Studio. So grandfather of Chrome. You open it, and the moment you open it, it just messes up your entire thing. I mean, I opened a project which was built with 2010, and I was told that, you know, you should get a VM, a Windows VM, and try to build the project. And I tried, and the moment I opened up, I was so afraid because it just went ahead and changed every goddamn file I had no idea about, because this is the first time I'm looking at a project, at a C# project. So I have no idea what's an SLN. I have no idea what's the difference between an SLN and a CS proj. I had no idea what's a Wix proj. I have no idea what's an ASMX, what's an ASX, what's an global ASX, blah, 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 foobar, whatever. It just changed everything. And I'm like, dude, what just happened? You just upgraded all the files. And it did some other things and all that. So I just didn't look at it. I simply just took it, I deleted, and I said, okay, I'm gonna go back to my Mac. I'm not gonna build it anymore. I'm just gonna open it in Vim, and I'm gonna edit the code, and I'm gonna just run it on the CI server and see that if it builds. That's all. And it takes around 1 hour as a feedback mechanism to figure out that I missed a semicolon. If you think .NET is the, like, I have heard this thing that .NET is one of the best technologies. Open your eyes, get your head out of your ass, get out to the world, and see what other technologies there are. I mean, I am a hardcore Java fan, but I'm not saying it's the best technology. It's a really good software, and it does what it does good, but it doesn't claim to be the best one without any fucking reason. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing, even if I considered .NET as a good language, and I mean C# is a good language, and .NET is a good framework, one thing I cannot comprehend is, do not ever tell me that Visual Studio is the best IDE ever. Do not, please. You are just stupid enough to even understand a different IDE. I have seen .NET people write code. There is no optimizing imports. There's no proper formatting. I mean, either you don't know the shortcuts or your IDE doesn't support it. It's most likely the first one, because the entire community is shit. I feel like it. Again, I don't want to hate. I know there are really good .NET and C# developers out there. But then it's like, from what I've seen, because I have a couple of friends who are working in .NET, and oh my god, dude, it's like, whatever, a lot of rant. Okay, let's get back. Actually, I do want to keep this for later on, because I really want to see exactly what's happening. So with 10k task, the native threads just boomed, and then you have Rust OK, which is still in the good thing here. Async std. Golang boomed a little bit more than Rust. Java threads just messed it up, and somehow C# threads are same. It's 131. C# threads are same. Wow. A few surprises here. Probably everybody expected that threads would be the big loser of this benchmark, and this is true for Java threads, which indeed consumed almost 250 MB of RAM. But native Linux threads used from Rust seem to be lightweight enough that at 10k threads the memory consumption is still lower than idle. Other surprises Go are supposed to be very lightweight, but they actually consume more, 50% of the RAM. Honestly, I was expecting much different. Blah blah blah. 100k task. I could not launch 100,000 threads on my system, so the threads benchmark had to be excluded. Probably this could be somehow tweaked by changing the system setting, but after giving it. So at 100, you probably don't want to use threads. You probably want to use workers who have threads. I'm guessing that's what it is. Peak memory to launch this thing is like 450. It's not like, okay. Go program has beaten up not only by Rust, but also by Java, C# and Node.js. Wow. And Linux.NET, this is something I can still work with, I feel. Likely cheats because its memory didn't go up. I had to double check if it really launches the right number of tasks, but indeed it does, and it still exists after 10 seconds, so it doesn't block the main loop. Magic, good job .NET. Wow, I just shitted entirely for like 15 minutes on .NET, and .NET just how come Golang just went crazy in here? How? I will still say I don't care. I don't care. I will rather wait on a website for 5 seconds to load up than have a page load up in a millisecond with the extension .aspx. Period. Period. End of discussion from my end. I don't care how much memory you took, how much memory. C# is better in memory than Java. C# is better than memory in Rust. Whatever. I simply don't care. If you're using ASPX, I would rather leave the site. And I would wait on a website built on PHP, which loads in 5 seconds. I have no problem. Thank you. Anyways, I feel it's a good read. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So in here is not a problem. Okay, so this is my this is this. Okay. Now the next question is, what can we do next? So we build a ping pong server, echo server. Whatever the client sends, the server echoes back. What can we do next as a step for network programming goal? Let's ask what we can do. Can you just give me, don't yap? There's a progression that you can follow the path. Oh, wait. Achha. Okay. TCP streams basic, no message boundaries, blocking IO resource cleanup. You have a concurrent server. So spawn a go routine per connection. Echo back concurrently. Add graceful shutdown, context cancellation, SIGINT handling. I want to see one of the things in here. So when I do this, it doesn't actually handle the connection closing correctly. Okay, so maybe we can do that. Message framing. TCP is a stream, no message boundaries. Implement a simple protocol where you have a length and a payload. First 4 bytes is the length of the message. Next n bytes is the message data itself. I guess you have to end with the registered nulls. That may be a correct thing. Buffering, reading exact lengths, encoding, decoding binary JSON. Okay, then you have a ping pong port. Oh, a ping pong protocol is actually a protocol. By the way, just a quick thing in here. I don't know if you guys can see, so I'm just gonna go to OBS in here. So I got this book recently, a computer networking top-down approach. Okay, computer networking top-down approach is by Kuros and Rose. I hope you can see. Yeah. So this book, I don't know how it is, like from online review I've heard it's pretty good. I still have to start reading this book. And yeah, I'm planning to go through a couple of books and read it. I have a bunch of them. So that's there. I don't know if I can show the books that I have. I might be able to. Just a second. So here, I cannot show. The camera is very, very tightly. Okay, now it's also okay. So maybe I can post a picture on my this thing on the post section or Instagram of what books I have. So yeah, I've got a couple of books on computer network. I've got a couple of books, computer networking, system design. I've got a couple of books related to Java. One is Spring Hibernate, one is Java, one is concurrency. I really want to start the concurrency and the computer networking. I have a couple of books on algorithms. There are some other books which I have inside which doesn't fit in my bookshelf here, which is related to, one is related to AI, one is related to computer networks again, other is related to data intensive. Oh, I have also the data intensive applications, designing data intensive application book. Yeah, I've got a couple of books, but I guess it's all for show. Whatever. Okay. Cool. I suppose we can see exactly what on earth is this ping pong server. Ping pong protocol. So do you really have a ping pong protocol? Okay. So NAT's client applications uses a ping or pong protocol to check that if there is a working connection to the NAT service. Periodically, the client will send a ping. Which responds with a pong. The client will send ping messages to the server, which responds with a pong. This period is configured by specifying a ping interval on this thing. Okay. So NAT's name, NAT's ping interval, and all of that. So Asha, this is just a library that they are doing, which I'm not interested in. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in a real ping pong. Is it like a... Okay, what is this? Chicago University. Holy shit, man. I think I can just... Okay. It's a huge S1. Invert is what? Thank you. Okay. So I can only zoom with my mouse. Okay, the purpose of ping pong... Oh, my bad. I didn't actually change the live stream. Okay. The purpose of ping pong protocol is to have an assisted ratio of all the numbers collected. The protocol may also be a member or small group presents to be the issue to be addressed. A member of the small group then pose a question to explore together with audience. Dude, I am asking, is there a genuine ping pong protocol RFC? Or is it just something that someone made up? There is no single... Exactly. Okay, so ping pong is for all of the RFCs where you have a certain way of doing a ping pong against. Okay, cool. Cool. Information centric ping pong. Multicast ping pong. WebSocket protocol ping pong. Can I just have this? What is this? Specified in this document allow for checking whether an endpoint can receive multicast both source. I don't want to even go into something which I don't fucking understand right now. This document presents design of blah blah blah. Can you just tell me what exactly it is? Certain data plane reachability to a destination. Trip driver fundamental facilities for network. Okay, in an IP. Do you have a ping protocol? What protocol does ping use? ICMP. Okay. So the ping command uses the ICMP protocol, which is an internet control message protocol, to send echo request packets to a target host and receive echo request packets in return, helping to test network reachability and measure latency. It operates at the network level, layer 3 of the OSI, which means it doesn't use ports like TCP or UDP do at the transport layer 4. ICMP echo request. The ping utility sends an ICMP echo request message, something like this. If the target host is reachable and configured to respond, it sends back an ICMP echo reply type 0. Okay. A network layer function, ICMP, is used for error handling and operational information, which makes it suitable for ping's diagnostic purpose of checking if the host is active and how long it takes to respond. One of the things I believe here is 64 bytes from somewhere. You also given the IP address, ICMP sequence 123, TTL is this, time is this. So that's the time that you're taking to. Okay. So one of the things we can do is Echo Server and ping 12700. So this is quite fast. And since it's a loopback, I'm guessing, no, okay, since I already did, okay, so if I say local host, if I say this, it's not going to do anything because the port is not needed because it's at layer 3. Okay, so we read that. So ping is at layer 3, which is always working with something called an internet control message protocol to send echo packets. Okay. Hmm. Protocols used for ping. I think this is a more reliable source of information. Pildang, and I hope I'm pronouncing it correct. Holy shit! Look, okay. Oh, thank God, we can beat it. So packet internet or inter-network grouper. The fuck. Ping is packet internet or inter-network grouper is a networking utility for checking if a remote is reachable by a host or on a network. A variety of protocols can be used with ping, such as Apple Talk, connectionless network, blah blah blah. Okay, and in this tutorial, we'll try to explain the protocols used by ping and explore various aspects of them. Internet protocols for ping. The default protocol is IP. Several layers in an IP stack, such as internet control, several layers in an IP stack, such as internet, ICMP, ARP, address resolution protocol, are involved in the ping process. Ping comes with an operating system with network support to check if an IP address is reachable. Depending on the purpose of the use, ping uses ICMP and ARP and is different from TCP and UDP. Often ping uses generic term to test connections for TCP using different tools like Telnet and Nmap. So Nmap, I think, is for scanning of ports and all that. Let's consider TCP, another console application that works over a TCP port to ping. Ping over a TCP connection. TCP is a console application that operates similar to ping, however, it works over a TCP port. There are many different implementations of this floating around, written independently by different people. There are many, but this one is mine. I have a TCP based router too. I like that. And look at how simple this the thing is. The last he has written something is 2024. Learning Morse code via handwritten type, and it's in PHP. I want to find this guy. Awesome. I'm starting to sign my software with this GPG key. It came from download. Subdomain, it should have a signature and hashes next to it. If you have some time or money, PayPal link, or even better, donate at BCF. What is BC? Breast Cancer Federation. Okay. I will consider for a donation later on, but I want to first see who's this guy. Eli Fulkerson. He's a PhD, OSP, OSC. Man, I don't even know what these are. Okay, he's working in. And oh no. He was a database and network specialist in Eastern Shore Regional LP for 17 fucking years. And beautiful. I'm gonna follow this guy. I don't know if he actually posts or not. I'll follow this guy. Man, where did it go? Why did it close? Okay. Do you have a GitHub link? Source. This guy uses VS to create this project. The moment I was kind of saying, wow, this guy is cool, he's still cool. So this is the guy that I should be reading code when he works with .NET or something, right? If he actually works with .NET. But otherwise, it's just, yeah. So you have a make.bat, really? For Windows version you have? Ah, okay. So I don't know what's a dir. Dir is just do I have wine, by the way? I probably can. I don't. Okay. Anyways, okay. We digressed a lot, actually. Okay, so we digressed a lot. So ICMP provides the code and types with no specific port number for the ping. Okay. The ping utility contains a client interface to ICMP that uses the echo request type 0 messages. When a ping command is issued from a source machine, an echo request is sent to the IP address of the target machine. This ICMP request is generated to confirm whether the target machine is reachable. I need to know how these things are generated. You're not telling me that. You're giving me a ton of things. Okay. So working on ping is simple. Let's type in the command prompt ping. Dude. Whether there's a connection between the source IP and the destination IP network, the speed of the connection. Okay, so request timed out. How to use ping? Ping can be used for several purposes, such as script for tracking system, blah blah blah, and all of that. Ping -6 you can do. Okay. Ping replies may yield information about the operating system, machine IP, and MAC, and may cause security concern. Sophisticated cyber attackers may utilize this information for malicious attacks on target machine. In an identified network, attackers may use ping to get a list of the systems that are reachable in responding. To avoid a security breach, many firewalls block ping requests from untrusted network. Okay. But it actually didn't give me that what the fuck is this ICMP protocol. Maybe where are you taking me? Where are you taking me? Okay. Just taking me to another page of yours. That is not what I wanted, but okay. We'll present a set of most used and popular network protocols. ICMP. Can you show me that? Okay. Is made to send errors in the network. ICMP protocol is made to send error messages in a network. It works with the IP protocol. It helps to diagnose network communication issues. ICMP mainly is used to determine whether or not data is reaching its specified destination in the best ways. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. So you have what is a 0 bits? So it's a 64-bit buffer. Is that what you're talking about? The 0 to 7 is a type, which I think was talking about type 0. So this makes sense because from 0 to 7 you have 8 bits, so it can go up to 256. From 8 to 15 you have a code. Then you have 8 and 8 bits, so 16 bits of so you have a single byte of type, you have a single byte of code, you have 2 bytes of this checksum, and then you have 32 byte, like 4 bytes of header information. Since this protocol sends error messages, that is what I understood. If I may be wrong. Is a connectionless protocol. To send an ICMP from one system, it's not needed to establish a connection between two systems. You just send it out to the target and figure out that their entire network routes it to the correct system. I'm guessing. spanning tree protocol, file transfer protocol. Holy shit, there are a lot of protocols. And I feel as an engineer, I should know these protocols. Like, I don't have to be a master, but I should know. And that is what fun is, right? Otherwise, full day, it's not fun. Yeah, this is where I really have fun. I don't have fun with UI and stuff like that. Okay. ICMP protocol. RFC? Do you have an RFC? Internet Control Message Protocol. This is again very weird. You have to... Okay. The internet protocol is used for host to host and all of that. So ICMP messages are sent using basic IP headers. The first octet is the ICMP type field. The value of this field determines the format of the remaining data. Okay. Any field labeled unused is reserved for later extension and must be 0 when sent. But receivers should not use these fields except to include them in their checksum, unless otherwise noted under the individual format description. So whatever this is, so internet header length in 32-bit words. Okay, type of service is 0, total length of the internet header, and data in octet. Can you just give me a diagram, my friend? Can you do that? Do you have a wiki page in here? I'm guessing it can just give me the... Okay, so I guess in here I have to remove that. Yeah, it didn't really help, but okay. Okay, so you have type, you have code, you have checksum, you have content. Wait. 5. You said header information. Why, bro? Fucking said header information. Okay. Dude, just chill out. Okay. Okay, so ICMP is part of this thing. For example, every device, such as an intermediary router, forwarding an IP datagram first decrements the time to live field in the IP by 1. In the result, oh. So this is a network layer protocol. This makes it a layer 3 protocol in the 7 OSI model. Based on the 4 layer, TCP is ICMP is a internet layer protocol, which makes it a... Okay. Okay, this is what I wanted to look at. So the datagram structure, the ICMP packet is encapsulated in an IPv4 packet. The packet consists of headers and data sections. The ICMP header starts after the IPv4 header and is identified as protocol number. All ICMP packets have an 8-byte header. 8. The fuck? So 8 is an echo request, and you get back a reply saying 0. which is again an echo reply. Why on earth are both the codes 0? That is weird AF. Timestamp reply. Okay. I was looking at one of the... Anybody knows about this? There's something called a datetime protocol, and there's an RFC about this. And it simply says, so if it's a TCP based service, one datetime service is defined as a connection based application on TCP. A server listens for TCP connection on the ports 13. Once the connection is established, the current date and time is set out to the connection as an ASCII character string, and any data received is thrown away. The service closes the connection after sending the code. Okay. There is no specific syntax for the datetime. It is recommended it is limited to ASCII printing characters, space, carriage, and line feed. The datetime should just be one single line. The popular syntax is it's a weekday, month, day, year, time zone. Another popular syntax is like SMTP, where you say, okay, DD, MMM, YY. Note, for machine useful time, use the protocol. I'm guessing this is some kind of an ISO standard in here, right? Oh, there's a time protocol. Holy shit, man, the internet used to be... It's in 1983. It's in 1983. Just imagine how simple the internet used to be. That you just have a random service out there which is supporting your datetime protocol. You would just send a packet, you just send a request to that, and that would send back and say, hey, this is the current date, man. That's all. And there's also a time protocol. I want to read that. Okay. I want to do this. Okay, I'm gonna make a quick break, and then I think I'm gonna do it, and that might be the last thing that I do for today's stream, and then I'm gonna log off. Tomorrow again, I don't have office. I am on leave because I have some personal work, but I still have to get up early. This specified for ARPA Internet community. Okay, hosts on the ARPA Internet that choose to implement a time protocol are expected to adapt and implement the standard. This protocol provides a site-independent, machine-readable date and time. Okay, so it's a very specific format of the time. Just nothing to do with this thing. I'm gonna just say that, okay, I'm gonna implement this datetime protocol, and yeah, so we will also know exactly, because I know go doc time.now. Yeah, it returns the current time, but I don't know exactly how it's gonna do it. But I think go dev background, I can see that. So time.now, and in here time, suppose that's how you do it. Yeah, it's a very weird format. I wonder if we can do chan 01 chan 1970. Can we do that? Something like that? No. Okay, so I'm guessing you have to do time.format or something. Okay, I mean, that's fine. We'll figure that out, and this is gonna be a little bit fun, specifically because I know that date protocol on this thing is weird, because why is Golang a date formatter weird ass? Because it relies on a certain date. Yeah, I don't know if this is the date, but it's like, okay, so read about the formatting here. It uses a specific time, correct? So it uses a very specific time, and people say that it's apparently readable because it's 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07. I don't understand. This must be the right answer. Hmm. Okay. Cool. Okay. I'll take a quick break. I'll refill some of my water, and then I'll come back. And yeah, then we're gonna do a daytime protocol server. Okay. So yeah, see you guys soon. Okay, we are back. We are back. It's already 1 o'clock here in our time. Oops. Anyways, okay. So we're gonna create this thing in here, and so what is it? It's basically TCP-based UDP service. One daytime service is defined as a connection-based application on TCP. So listens for TCP connections on port 13. Okay. Once a connection is established, the current datetime and ASCII characters. Okay. So I think what we can do here is now let's close this, right? Let's close this, and yeah, my internet is completely fucked up. As you can see here on the right hand side here, I don't know if you guys can see. It's very laggy. Should I just close the stream? Should I just stop the stream? Should I just stop the stream? Because it's very laggy. I'm really sorry for the... Okay, let's quickly finish this off and do this. So go doc net.listen. So it can be a Unix, let's say it can be a Unix packet. So it doesn't quite talk about UDP, so we're gonna go with TCP in here, right? So CMD, we have to create the server. Okay, I mean the directory. So CMD, what is it called? Daytime. Right, so CMD daytime dot go. Okay, so package CMD func main fmt print ln hello world. Well, you don't need that because we are doing println. Okay, that should be it, right? So make file and in here we are going to replace echo client with echo client with daytime. Why is it not replacing minor finder? Echo client with daytime, and I think we have to go confirm. It doesn't work in that way. Okay, daytime slash daytime. Okay, daytime dot go. Well, we also have to add this in here, date. So now if I do this, undefined this thing, so yeah, we gotta import fmt daytime I messed up something. No, I didn't. So why is daytime not? That's weird. Permission denied. Why? What did I do differently here? This. Not sure. Okay. So the fuck. The fuck. CMD daytime. I'm not sure what is the issue. So let's remove all this stuff first. .zip ncs TCP. Okay. So what's the issue? So our main server echo client daytime. That's honestly weird, man. Like, not even understanding. So it doesn't have an entry point. Why is that? Because I have to name it main. Man. Okay. What a stupid ass thing. Okay, so it's working fine. Okay. CMD daytime. So here, what we have to do is so net.listen. So TCP4. This is 13. I'm not even sure if it's gonna let me bind to that flow port, but this is a listener and this is an error. Okay, and we can simply say address is 13, and we can say here ADDR, and that's basically it. So if error not equals nil, fnp f printf os.standard error did not start server at this same thing here. This is error. Press and error. OS exit 1. Okay, so I'm gonna say defer and then close. So you also need OS and you also need net. Okay. Now what I have to do in here is for ln accept. Okay, so this is going to bring back connection and error. So I can simply say if error not equal to nil, I'm gonna say fmt f printf OS standard error, could not accept connection. Of this reason, we can simply continue in here. Now I can say that this here is this here is going to be is it still dropping frames? Yeah, my internet is completely fucked today. It's really sorry for the experience. I'm really sorry for the experience. But anyways, I'm gonna stop the stream. I'm not stopping it because I want to complete this particular, which is a very, very simple protocol, daytime protocol. You ping the server and it returns you back with the current date. So I'm gonna do that and then I'm gonna stop. Okay, so FMT is saying, okay, so you have this and handle connection, something like that. You can pass it in and you can start it in a new coroutine. Right. So func handle connection. I believe the connection is coming like from net connection. Okay, and in here I can simply say I can simply say that handle connection. So I'm gonna first say defer connection.close. I'm not doing a closure here because I simply want to do the connection.close, but if I have to run multiple statements, I could do that. But yeah. So now what you have to do is so where is Golang packet here? So do you have something called date? So you don't have something called date, so you only have time. Where is time? It's runtime, not something. Okay. So yeah. I just want to format it, minor Finder. Can you just help me format it? Format. Do you have any format? T.format provides some formatting for it. Because a monotonic clock, blah blah blah. Time.date. So what is this? Okay, so okay, no. I don't want that. Returns a local current time. And well, since it's mentioned in the protocol, that there's no specific syntax for date time. I'm just gonna do time dot now for now. So this is now. So in here, connection dot write, and I have to convert it to this thing, right? Because okay, so go talk time less now. What the fuck? Okay. Got to be kidding me, man. Okay. But okay, it returns a time. So now this here is a structure, okay, which has unexported fields. Format. Okay, so this is how you format it. Okay, so you just have to call dot format and give it a layout. Okay. I get it. Format. So now you simply have to say format, and I suppose you can say 2nd January 1970 010203 IST. I think it should work. Not sure. Let's see. So what you can do now is do this now, and I'm just gonna ignore the errors for now. And I'm simply gonna close the connection and be done with it. Okay, so make undefined time. I suppose okay, not server. So it doesn't even let me bind to that port. It's so fucking old. So I'm just gonna say okay. Now here okay, but it says 10. Also it says 24th. So let's do it in this way. 02 Jan comma, and maybe here this thing. Okay, 24th October 10:24. But this thing is not correct. Okay, so time.format ulang samples. Oh, I can do the no. Hey, still doesn't fix the issue. This is wrong. Oh, you have to use the specific date. Man. Golang specific. Time formatter. Okay. You have to do telnet. Holy shit, it finally did what it's supposed to do. Oh my god. Finally, it did what it's supposed to do. And in here, I can say PM. Does that work? Finally. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. This is what the daytime protocol looks like, where you send a ping, you connect to the server, and it just pings you back with, sends you back the current date time of the host. That's all. That's all. That's all. Cool. So we did some good stream. I mean, the stream quality is messed up. Two builds, right? Okay. And if I say daytime, two builds, I think. Yeah. Okay, cool. One of the things we can simply do is daytime in here is empty print f starting daytime server on ADDR. Yeah, so just starting the daytime server. That's pretty much it. And if you have we can do from here, where is this thing? So if I just do telnet 207.0.0.1, well, it has to be this particular port. It just says this is the time. Bye bye. So this is pretty cool. We did our daytime server, and yeah, so we studied a little bit of the this thing, like how the accept, listen, dial things work. So I suppose next step tomorrow can be a simple chat server, where you have a server and clients try to connect to it. Suppose that's something that we can do. So clients will start just, so there won't be any rooms or anything like that. Clients can just start logging in and sending messages, and those messages would be coming in the particular group. One of the things I feel is this is how we have to create the chat server. Let's see, tomorrow I might not be free in the morning, but I might be free in the evening. But again, there's a lot of different things that I have to work on this particular weekend. So, and if my Airtel connection is as stable as today, it doesn't make sense to, it doesn't make sense to probably stream. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, whoever tuned in. I hope it was a good, informative session. I hope it was fun. Maybe you learned something new. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. But I definitely learned something new. It was quite a refresher. I have created web servers. I have created REST APIs using Go, using GoMux. I think we created using GoMux, and after that we went on to Go REST API libs. I forgot the name of it. One of the options that you have, I think it was something with C. Gin, not C, Gin. So yeah, I have to give a Gin context on all that. So I created with Gin. So this was back in the days when I was working for App Dynamics. We created an internal tool which basically would get data from different other places, and then have a common dashboard which says, okay, this is the Jira, this is the matrix, this is the servers that we have. It was a SaaS product, so you have multi-tenant SaaS product and things like that. So it was quite fun and good to implement it, but it was an internal tool, so just used internally. That's one thing I did, and it was quite fun to actually implement it. My manager started off that project, and then I kind of said, okay, I know Go. I mean, I just need the basics of Go, and I need the I know I'm comfortable programming, so I'm like, okay, let me just try and solve this problem, and I wanted to learn Go. So that was quite a good time, and one of the biggest features from end to end that I implemented was OAuth, and I absolutely loved it because I didn't do any frameworks around that, so I did everything from scratch. So you have the client secret and things like that. From the UI, you would send a call, redirect, and all of that, so completely wire up things together. That was a really, really nice project that I worked on. A small project, but yeah, really, I feel I understand OAuth a lot better after I did that. Maybe I don't, but yeah, it was pretty good. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. Whoever tuned in till now, thank you so much. It has been great. So consider subscribing if you feel the content is really helpful, if the content is something that you relate to, and yeah, it really helps, keeps up the motivation, because as you can see that the motivation is already down from Airtel, so maybe a human motivation is required to keep going. But again, still it has been a lot of irregular streams. Specifically in India, there's a lot of most of my viewers are from India, so as I can see that, okay, we have a lot of festivals going right now. So yeah, but today was the last day of one of the festivals that we celebrate, and tomorrow again we have another puja at home. So over the weekend I might not be available, I might be available, not really sure, but let's see. And again, I might consider switching over my internet provider from Airtel to something else in Bangalore. I stay in Bangalore, so I might do that because this is really, really shit. This is the third stream that I have so much of frame drops, and it's just constant thing, and I just don't want to deal with this shit. But anyways, thank you so much. Even with this pain point, if you guys have tuned in, please do subscribe. And yeah, I'm gonna be live streaming more and more, so that I'm just gonna be documenting my journey. That's all. That's the entire plan to start off with. So yeah, thank you so much for joining. Have a good night. Have a good morning if you're watching somewhere else, and have a good day. Thank you.